Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel and to this interview series with experts. My name is Elena Muratova. I am an Olympian life transition coach and wellness specialist. And today, my guest is Batista Gremaud, and she is a CEO and president of Doctor of Fitness International. She's also #1 best-selling author of Feminine Body Design. Sounds intriguing. We'll learn about that soon. And she also co-creator of the Feminine Body Design online strength training mentoring system. Welcome, Batista.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited to talk to you and learn more about your system and everything you do. But I also know you mentioned it a little bit before when we briefly talked about your way to that wellness industry. Can you share with us a little bit more about that story, how you met your husband?
Oh, yes. That's always a good story. Well, actually, I'm a professional dancer, and that was my whole life. I was a ballet dancer and a flamenco dancer. I started when I was very young. And I had some car accidents and some injuries along the way. And so dancing over the injuries really got me to a point where, my injuries got worse and worse and worse to a point where I was really against the wall, basically, just not getting better. I had tried everything to get better. I had tried all the more typical modalities like chiropractic, massage, acupressure, acupuncture, and then holistic methods, hands-on healing. Basically I'd spent my whole life trying to heal my injuries because of course dancing is a very hard profession. Your body a lot, and as you know, as an athlete yourself, you know that we put our bodies through a lot of hard things. And about 12 years ago, I was completely against the wall. I really didn't know where else to turn. And that's at that time that I met Dr. Fitness USA. And I was at a restaurant where I was waiting for the owner to talk about putting a show because I had a dance company. And there comes this gentleman, this kind of cute build, So we made eye contact. I was single at the time. And he comes by my table and he says, well, who are you? And I'm like, well, I'm Batista. And I said, well, who are you? And he says, well, I'm an international body designer. And what was amazing about that is just the day before, I had kind of like had a moment of clarity where I realized that with all the spiritual teaching that I've had and all the body, mind, spirit integration and all the stuff that were involved with for so many years, that really my body was falling apart. And so I had prayed and made an intention that I wanted to really find some answers to my body. And so when this gentleman came to my table and he says, I'm an international body designer, for me, it was like a sign, right? It's like, wow, that's what I need. I was so excited. And so I had a conversation with him, and then very soon thereafter, I hired him. And what was interesting for me is that the system that he was talking about was all about strength training and lifting weight. And for me, I was a dancer and I was very injured, and that was the last thing on my mind.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. But the philosophy and the things that he was telling me about, which I want to talk a little bit about today, because it's very different. It was really different. It was concepts and things that I had never heard about, like never doing anything that's uncomfortable or working out from a female perspective. Oh, what's that? Me, I'm like a professional dancer it's no pain, no gain. The show must go on. So I didn't understand any of it, but I was very intrigued, so I hired him. And hey, within literally, I think a couple of weeks, my backache was gone, and then all my injuries healed very, very rapidly. And so, to make a long story short, I married him, and I made a career transition, and then opened Dr. Fitness International, and then I did a lot of research. I've written a couple of books, and here we are talking.
Yeah.
That's how it all happened.
Oh, wonderful. Such an interesting story. Thank you. Thank you. I really want to learn more about the systems that help you to deal with your pain so fast. Can you maybe share a little bit more about how it helps actually to heal the pain?
Yes, actually, and I was very intrigued myself because I was healthy. I was already moving, exercising, stretching. I was doing a lot of things that when you talk about rehabilitation and pain management, that's the thing that people are going to recommend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing all of that, but nothing was working. So I really did a lot of research to try to figure out why this was different. And so I've come up with some answers based on the research and the work that we do with people. And one of the things that is, I think, one of the foundational principle of why this program works the way it does is because first we work towards putting the body back into balance. And a lot of times in fitness, people say, oh, you have to strengthen the core, or, if you have a backache, you strengthen the core. The backache is going to go away and all this. But for us, the core, really, the foundation of the body is the spine, okay? Because the spine basically is through which the neurochemicals reach the brain. The spine is what holds you up. Many times people are not realizing that because of age or because of injuries or what happens, how we do our daily life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start compensating in a way where our muscles get out of balance, and then it shifts the posture.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we start losing muscle mass very early on if we're not doing some type of a muscle building activity. Then we start losing muscle mass as of 30 years old. So most people don't realize that things, like walking or aerobic, the treadmill, or even yoga are not muscle building activities. I mean, it's good for flexibility, it's good for the heart, it's good for a lot of things, but different fitness modalities have different outcomes. Okay? And they're not all necessarily muscle building. So if a person doesn't do any muscle building activity, then they're going to lose muscle mass, and that's going to also shift their posture.
Yeah.
Muscle around the spine is what holds you up. Okay, so when we do in our system, is the first thing is we look at posture. Okay, and the second thing is we look at correcting muscular imbalances, because and this is like what chiropractors don't tell you. You can have an adjustment, you can work on posture, but if your muscles are out of balance, then it's automatically going to shift your posture back out of alignment.
Yeah, definitely. The muscles just pull spine back into that previous position, something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with strength training and very specific exercises, we can actually see very easily where the body is at, and we can start putting that into balance. So these are two things that are, the main foundational principles. But all this can only be achieved with proper ergonomics too, because you can, the body works in a certain way, and in order to avoid injuries and to avoid pain, it's important to actually do the movements in a way that's biomechanically correct, so
Mm-hmm.
that you don't go aggravating, injuries or causing. And so Stephen, Dr. Fitness USA, who is now my husband, and we are co-founders of both of the company. He's an ergonomic expert. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so every movement, every exercise that we do, they are always done like in the right angle, the feet in the right position, technique and form and everything is so
Mm-hmm.
important, because then when you do that, you can, the body can excel in everything. Okay, and in this way, we're able to increase a person's strength by 20 to 50%. And this is also one of those foundational principles of the program is strength. Okay, so strength is what we lose when we get older. So it's very important to actually keep the strength up. So we have posture, muscular imbalances, and strength. So these are three things that are,
Because, yeah.
yeah. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, of course, makes a lot of sense to me. Totally agree with everything you said. That yeah, it's so important to keep up with the strength training. And I met some people. I could see how fast their posture has changed after a few months of inactivity.
Yes.
You actually could see like
Yeah.
something happening so fast, especially right now when most of the people have sedentary work.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't move so much, and it's difficult to find some the desks that ergometrically set up for us and maintain our, like, we need to think about this. It just doesn't happen automatically. It's all requires planning and like thinking and doing stuff. I
Yes,
totally agree.
absolutely. Yeah, the posture is, you can't think good posture. You have to actually build the muscles in the spine that
Mm-hmm.
holds the shoulders back and holds the
Yeah.
body up. You have to build those muscles in the proper way so that you can hold good posture without thinking about it. Because statistically speaking, you can only think good posture for about 3 minutes maximum. Then the posture goes back to, you know.
Yeah, and then you find yourself like in
Yeah, exactly.
your position.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I know that you also help people to lose weight. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that was also one of the main misconceptions that I also have. And now that I've been working with people for more than a decade, I can see that a lot of, even the people that are very thin, they always want to lose weight too. It's amazing. It's like, oh, you don't need to lose weight. You need to firm up and tone, but you don't need to lose weight. But a lot of people need to lose weight, and most people want to lose weight. And so what happens is, one of the main misconceptions that I see people having with losing weight is they think they just have to do a lot of aerobics. So
Mm,
the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to hit the treadmill or go for a run, or do all these activities. And actually, it's not really so. I mean, it's good to do aerobics and get the blood flowing and move. It's obviously better than sitting on the couch,
mm-hmm.
sure. But the thing is, in order to lose weight, you need more than that. You need to change your metabolism. So you need to develop more lean muscle mass so
Mm-hmm.
that your metabolism works more efficiently. And
Mm-hmm.
so you change the composition of your body. Okay, so when you do strength training and you build muscles, you're going to lose the calories, you're going to burn the calories while you're doing the activity. but then the muscle has to repair, and you're going to continue to burn calories for like 3 days past your workout. So, you're going to really make the most out of that 45 minutes workout that you had. When you do aerobics, you don't build muscle mass. Maybe if you're on the treadmill or you go hiking, you can have strong legs. That's true, but it's not going to do anything for your upper body. Okay. And so you're going to burn the calories while you do the activity, but that's it. All right. So we're always looking to change the composition of the body to build more muscle mass. And on top of it, when you do that, you can sculpt and tone. So you're going to have more benefit because you're going to look better. The clothes are going to fit you better for, just because you're going to be toned. And, you can't tone fat.
No, yeah, exactly.
Won't happen.
Yeah, and we need muscles because muscles, they actually requires energy to function, and fat doesn't require any energy. It's energy. So basically, yeah, it's true that the more muscles we have, the more energy we spend. And
exactly. Yeah. So then that's easier to lose weight. Now, a lot of people, another misconception, especially in women, I find, they think, no, I have to lose weight before I do strength training, because if I'm gonna lift weight, I'm gonna get bulky. So it's reversed thinking, completely reverse thinking. First of all, women don't have enough testosterone to get bulky muscles in the sense that what they're thinking, right? And so there's no way you're going to get bulky. And if you're thinking about competitors or, fitness competitors, bodybuilders, the women that achieve those types of results, a lot of times take supplements or drugs or steroids to get that bulk. And it's an incredible amount of discipline and work
and time. Yeah, a lot of time.
For the regular person that just wants to be healthy and work out 3 to 5 times a week, to just age gracefully, get rid of aches and pains, feel good, there's no chance to get that bulk if you're a woman and you're not taking drugs. There's no way that will happen. Okay, so that's another misconception. Don't try to lose weight before you do the strength training because you think you're going to be bigger. Use the strength training to tone, change your metabolism, and lose weight. People are miseducated, so their thinking is twisted, reversed. So it's a matter of about knowing facts.
Yeah, and I guess it's very important to do strength training also for keeping your joints healthy, to prevent injuries, because I met people with excess body weight and they suffered from some knees injuries or knees pain, so like basically doing strength training before or together with other cardio activities will help you prevent all these injuries, or just kind of allow you to do that cardio longer, go for a walk or go for whatever, some other cardio activity you do.
I know if I knew then what I know now, I would have been able to prevent a lot of pain. As a dancer, it was just really the last thing on my consciousness, because I had all these misconceptions. But if you are into sports, like a lot of times I see people and I explain what I do with the strength training, and then the person would say, oh, well, I like basketball, or I like doing this, or I do yoga, or I do, people have their things that they like to do, right? And so what I find is in fitness or in exercise in general, there's a lot of misconceptions. Like, for example, if you met a lawyer, the first thing you would ask probably is what type of law Do you practice?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You're not going to hire an injury lawyer if you have a criminal case, or you know what I mean. So you would pick the lawyer that you need. The same with a doctor. You meet a doctor. Well, what's your specialty, right? Because you're not going to go to a foot doctor because you have an eye problem, you know. So in fitness, people kind of think often that if they do something, that's all there is to it. So we get a lot of this, you know. Oh, I'm a strength training expert. I work on blah blah blah, what I'm talking about. And the person would turn around and they would say, oh, I do yoga, or I walk, or I ski, or I do whatever, and not realizing that whatever they're doing is great, but it might not address all of the fitness needs. And just as you're saying, if you are an athlete on some level, or you like tennis, or you like whatever, and you do strength training, you're going to be able to be more efficient on the sport that you like to do. You're just going to be better at it, and you're going to most likely avoid injuries because you're going to be stronger.
Yeah, and I had this conversation with people who do some active work, like they pretty active physically during their day work. And they said to me exactly the same. It's like, I don't need it. I already pretty active physically. And my counter argument is always that, yeah, I was a professional athlete and I was pretty active every day. I skate for many hours, but I still went to the gym to do some strength training because I wanted to prevent myself from injuries. I wanted to maintain good balance of my muscles. Like I needed that because usually when we do sports, when we do some specific activity, it's more like repetitive and some specific movement that we repeat over and over again. And we need to build our muscles to allow ourselves to do that for many years.
And also what I found with dancing, and it's kind of the same principles, when you do free movement, right? We all have a side that we favor. We all have a side that's stronger. It's not necessarily that, oh, my right side is stronger than my left side. Usually the way it works is maybe in one movement, my right side would be stronger in this particular movement, but my left leg might be stronger in that movement. So it's not that we are stronger in typically here or there. There's different parts of the body that are stronger depending on the type of movement we do. And we are usually not that aware of that when we do our daily life, because we kind of are on automatic pilot. I know for me as a dancer, I knew, oh, my left leg can go higher in the back than my right. You know, as when you're a professional athlete, you can pinpoint what it is, but you don't necessarily know how to fix it. And on daily basis, you certainly don't realize that you're always taking the laundry out this way, or lifting the grocery that way, or, you know, things that we do on automatic pilot, we don't realize. And so what happens is all this starts snowballing, you know, slowly more out of balance, more out of balance, more of balance. And one day you get the laundry out of the washing machine, your back goes out, and you go, oh, my back is out, but I only took the laundry out. I didn't do anything. What happened is overuse injuries over a long period of time.
Yeah, exactly.
And now at that particular moment, the back went out, but it didn't go out just right then.
Yeah.
It went out 5 years ago over a long period of time. So when you do a very specific strength training program that can keep your body in balance, keep your strength up, keep your posture in good position, in good alignment, and keep all your joints strong, okay, then you have less chances to be injured. And if you are injured, then there's a lot of chances that you can heal with your injuries.
Yeah,
Takes the pressure off the joints.
definitely. Actually, talking about healing, I'm wondering if your system helps people to heal their emotional and physical abuse that they, if they experienced any in the past.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked, because it is true that that's something that I have always been fascinated with, is mental health and the connection between mental health and exercise. And there's actually research now that has been done that, especially in strength training, when you can strengthen the lower extremities of the body, that it can actually help to prevent or even reverse the neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer or dementia. So what happens is, when you exercise in that way, the body, the energies go to the brain, and it creates new neurons in the brain, new connections. And it's been proven to help with depression, anxiety, aside from what I just said, neurodegenerative diseases. But there's also research that's been done with addiction recovery. That it helps with addiction recovery. They've done research with mice, and that was on the wheel, right? They've done research on mice and cocaine, where they put mice on the wheel. The mice that were on the wheel had less response to cocaine than the that were just left without exercising at all. So there's so much research that's been done now in terms of the power of exercise for mental health and for brain health, but now more and more leaning towards additional benefits with strength training. Can you tell I'm a real advocate of strength training?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I believe in it, because for me, I was a dancer, I was already exercising. All the aerobics, everything I was already doing, but it didn't fix me. I was hurt. And since I adopted these principles and this strength training method, I'm now 61 years old. I'm stronger than ever, and I don't have any more injuries. And I'm at 61, I leg press 650 pounds. Who would know that you can do that? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you on all that that you said about neuroplasticity and how we can change our connection between our brain, or in our brain, and between our brain and our muscles. That also seems to me that strength training can empower us, give us this inner confidence, just that we go and accomplish something and we feel strong and we feel better in our body, and we might feel better emotionally too. And we release all the stress hormone, as well.
It's all connected. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual strength is all connected. What happens is, when the person loses physical strength, they live in their head. Okay, so we see a lot of people just always in the thinking mode, thinking with very little brain muscle connection. I work with women, well, I work with men too, but it's kind of both for men and women, but I like working with women. But at 55 years old, they're so disconnected with their bodies. You give them 5 pounds dumbbell and they're like, oh, it's heavy. 10 pounds. It's like, what? The grocery that you just lifted from the store is more than that. What are you talking about? It's heavy. Very, very little brain muscle connection. So when you can make that connection back, between, oh, I can use my body in a certain way, it feels good. You regain that. It's like reconnecting the dots from the inside out. So
Yeah.
it's actually getting out of the head and back in the body.
Mm-hmm.
This is we see this so much. People just living in their heads, all in the thinking. And actually, I've learned from Stephen over the years, and I see it now when I work with people, that actually this is very damaging to the nervous system and to the immune system. Okay, because as especially as women, we are estrogen based, and we need to have that feel good
Mm-hmm.
connection in the body. And
Mm-hmm.
this is another thing, while I really believe that the program is so healing, and not only physically for injuries, but mentally, it's because it really reconnects the bridge between the thinking and the feeling, and allows the person to get back in the center of their being,
Yeah.
where the body can go, wow, I feel good, and then when you are in that state, then there is a chance for recovery. If you're just in your head, there's no chance for recovery. You're in your head,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where most people live.
Yeah, I think this strength training, just exercising in general, when you're actually conscious about movement, really helps to bring us this experience of being in our body in a good way. Like sometimes it can be challenging for people to experience these body sensations, maybe because they had some abuse in the past and
Mhm.
like some traumas, but exercising with conscious awareness about movements really can kind of show other way of experience we can get from our body. And I believe that we experience our life through our body. It's like how we see, how we sense, how we like feel. We feel emotions in our body too. So when we totally detached, when we only live in our head, it seems to me that we kind of detach from our life in
Yes.
general. So yeah, it's very
Yeah,
powerful.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a nice way to put it. And it is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess that it's how your system also helps people to deal with stress. It's kind of connecting them back to body, or maybe some other ways too.
Yeah, that's the baseline of everything. I mean, look, if you're stressed out, we always say, when you work with weight, and I'm not talking 5 pounds, okay, I'm talking weights, real
Mm-hmm.
weight. It's like the weight goes up or it goes down. It just, you can't, at that moment, you have to be so focused and so connected. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I go in the gym and I leg press 650 pounds, okay, you have to be focused, and it's such an amount of endorphins to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a instant feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the stress just disappears.
Yeah,
You can't. It's automatic, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Because you have to be in the moment at that time. You can't wonder. I mean, to me, it's like meditation. Actually, it's stronger than meditation, because you have to be. It's like active meditation. You have to be in the moment, but you have to be so focused. Because you can't lift 650 pounds if you're not focused. It won't happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when we see people that say, oh, I do strength training, and they're lifting 5 pounds, we say, well, that's great, it's better than nothing, but it's more like occupational therapy. You're
Yeah.
not really going to get that oomph and that power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what people do. They're confused. They don't understand the weight that their body needs to handle to get the results that they're looking for. They don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. So what we see is a lot of people transferring their aerobic activities to the weights. So they're going to do the 5 pounds, and they're going to do
Mm-hmm.
like 50 times, you know, but that's more aerobics,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't it's not going to give you that, that power that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
A lot of misconceptions in the fitness and exercise world.
I'm wondering if you can give a few tips on where to start with strength training for, if people, they haven't been active in this perspective, maybe never or for a long time, and they start feeling, especially, I noticed that I noticed with my peers, I'm 34, but I noticed a huge change in how people look in their appearance. And I could really tell that some of them not active physically, not doing strength training or any other activities, and some really doing something. And then from, I don't know, it seems like you mentioned it, from 30 years old, we start losing muscles if we don't exercise. And then we reach this 50 years old to 60 years old. And we already start to notice some changes happening, like experience pain, some postures that we can't correct anymore, with a movement. So all these changes happening around that age. So can you give a few tips on what people can do, like maybe first steps or something like that?
Yeah, well, the first step is the mindset. You gotta work on the mindset and realize that you gotta educate yourself. Okay, because we see it starts with the mind. It starts with the mindset. So many times, especially now with the people and the pandemic and the businesses going, so much stress and so many things have happened in the last year. And we see people that are focused on their business and they're online 24 hours a day and they have no time. And, before the pandemic, people had no time also. Okay.
It's never enough time. Yeah.
Every time we talk about exercise, I have no time. So you got to work on your mindset that, what? There's this saying, those who do not make time for physical fitness eventually will have to make time for disease. And that's the truth. Eventually, you're going to have to make time for something. Okay. And so might as well change your mindset and make the time. And you need to educate yourself. Okay. Because if you have pain and if you have issues in the body that are obvious, then you need to find help, a mentor, somebody to help you and to guide you. In the fitness industry specifically, people think that they are their own teachers, their own experts. If you were to learn martial arts or dancing or any sport, you would know that you need an expert to teach you. You wouldn't think that I can just watch a video and I'm going to be becoming a black belt martial artist.
Yeah.
Right? So people in fitness, they think that they can just take a walk, hop from one machine to the next, and they are now experts. So many times I speak to spiritual people, oh, I'm intuitive. My body is telling me what I need. You become intuitive and you can listen to your intuition about your body when you have the tools and the skill. You have to be skilled. It's like dancing, martial art. When you have learned the technique, then you can lose the technique because it becomes part of your being, and then you can let the intuition guide you. Okay, but if you don't have the skills, it won't work. And in fitness, it's the same way. So I would say find a mentor, find a teacher that can help you to teach you how to do it right. Get the results that you want, and also so that you don't get hurt in the process.
Yeah.
Because there are so many injuries that are caused by well-intentioned fitness trainers. You know that you can get a personal training certification over a 48 hours online course, right? find somebody with a track record.
Yeah.
And that's what I would recommend. Don't try to wing it and do it alone. Get educated, change your mindset, and then realize that fitness is like a business. It's the business of your body. Treat it, make a business plan for your body.
Yeah.
Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 10 years? Right? If you're 30, where do you want to be when you're 60? Do you want to be 50 pounds more? You know what I mean? And then start taking the actions now for the long-term journey. You see, many people go, oh, I have a photo shoot, or I have this, or I have this commitment, I'm getting married, or whatever. I have to lose 20 pounds in 90 days, or, so they have this, I need it now. I want it now. Forget it. There are people that will guide you to get those fast results in 60 days, 90 days. But most of the time, these results won't last. You have to really look at it as the long term. So build your muscle, work on your posture, work on feeling good, work steady. You know the tale of the rabbit and the turtle and the rabbit?
Yeah.
Right? The turtle won the race.
Yeah.
Okay. Steady, consistent, that wins the race.
Yeah. And people can start strength training at any age.
Yes.
Yeah. It's always beneficial.
Yeah. But I recommend not to wait.
No, of course, it's better not to wait until 70 when you start to feel all these consequences of not having strength training in the past.
It gets harder.
Yeah, it gets harder, but it still will be beneficial. But of course, I fully agree. The better time to start is now.
The best time is now, for sure.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I remember you have something for our viewers or listeners, some links that they can visit in the description below this video. Some free gifts, I guess.
Yes, so it's very simple. If you go to, and you can put the actual links in the description, but if you go to drfitnessusa.com.
Oh, even better, yeah.
Okay, drfitnessusa.com, it's DR, short version for doctor, drfitnessusa.com. On the homepage, there are goodies. Okay, so you can actually download a free report for men, one for women, because men and women have different energies and there's different ways of thinking about fitness. Like, for example, men, are often they're used to be, or they used to strength train when they were younger, and it was all ego based or big muscles or whatever. And now they do yoga or, but strength training for men is even more important than for women in a way, because that's what builds testosterone naturally. So you need to actually do more strength training as you get older, but not from the ego like when you were young. So we talk about this in those reports. So there's one for women, one for men. And then also on the homepage, there is a 5-day, that's a gift, a 5-day mini course, very simple things that people can do every day to get off the chair, out of Zoom, and, do it takes 5 minutes. So there's a 5-day, I call it the zoomed out 5-day roadmap to, get off Zoom. So you can download that on Dr. Fitness USA. And then, of course, you can also schedule a complimentary consultation. And in the note, you tell me that you heard about it through Elena Muratova. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Muratova. Yeah.
Muratova.
Yeah.
then obviously, there will be no charge, and we'll treat you like gold. So yeah, go to drfitnessusa.com and schedule the consultation and download all the goodies.
Yeah, wow. Sounds like a lot of good stuff.
Well, we try,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Well,
much.
we know it starts with education, and if somebody wants the education, then we like to give it. And also we have over 400 videos on YouTube, so you can also go to youtube.com/Dr. Fitness USA, and so there's a lot of things on there as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Oh, it was a pleasure talking to you, Batista.
Well, thank you.
So great to have you here, and thank you everybody for watching and listening. And as usual, subscribe to my channel, give like to this video, share this video with your friends, and go to all the links below this video or to the website that Batista just shared with you to get all these amazing things that she provides. And I see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.